Guys, we're solving for absolute value inequalities here. Solve and graph the solution of this problem. So we have a combination of absolute value and inequality all together, right? How nice this can be, right? So what's happening here is that we have half of x plus 2 less than 7 over 4. So because of the inequality here, which is less than, okay? So what's going to happen? So we treat it differently than if we have greater than, okay? So how do we do when we have less than? We're going to have half of x plus 2 right in the middle, and then we have it as negative 7 over 4, and then positive 7 over 4. So this means that when you have an absolute value expression, which is less than whatever you have there, so you can set it up as that expression which is in between these two numbers. And then it's a negative and the positive because of the absolute value. All right? So let's go for it. So what's happening is that we got to solve for x, right? X is our target. So as we have fractions here, so all the time you can get rid of them if you want to, or you can automatically go to the operations if you're good with fractions. But if you're not good with fractions, it's better just to find the lowest common denominator and then multiply the whole inequality by that. So what's the lowest common denominator in this case if you want to do that? So the LCD is going to be 4 because 4 can divide 4 evenly and 4 can divide 2 twice. Okay? So the lowest common denominator is 4. So we're multiplying everybody by 4. Okay? So if you multiply 4 by negative 7 over 4, the 4 we cross out, and then you only have 7 left for the first one, less than. Now if you multiply 4 by half, it is 2, right? Because 4 divided by 2 is 2, so it's 2x left to here, and 4 by 2 is what? Is 8, and then less than 4 cross out, and then this one is 7. Okay? So once you get to this part now, so again, remember you're solving for x. That means you got to get rid of what? 8. Got to go first. So that means you're doing negative 8 everywhere else. So you end up with 2x left here. And then 7 minus 8 is equal to what? Negative 1. Right? And then 7, negative 8 is negative 15 because both numbers carry the same sign. So you add and you keep the sign. Right? Are we finished? No, because we're solving for x only, not 2x. So 2 got to go. So you divide everybody by 2. And then we end up with what? We end up with negative 15 over 2. All right? And then negative half here. Okay? That's a fraction, but you can divide it to get decimal numbers if you want to. It doesn't matter. It's okay if you can do that. So that means, this one, which can be, what, 7.5, and this one is 0.5. So, but you don't need to do that. So that means what? If it's in between, so if you want to graph it, for example, this is it. So you have 0, negative infinity, positive infinity. You have negative half, which is somewhere here. This is our 0. And then you have negative 15 over 5, which is somewhere here. Okay? And then x is between these two. So that means you put this one here, you put this one here. It's in between those two. All right? So this is the solution. And again, when it comes to less than with no equal sign, you leave the circle empty. But if you have the equal sign, you have to shade in to signify that those two numbers are inclusive. But if you leave it empty, that means that these two numbers, negative 15 over 2 and negative half, are not inclusive in your interval, okay, or your range. All right, guys? So this is it. We're good. Let's go.